Front brakes on a '03 Oldsmobile Bravada, same as the Chevy Trailblazer. 19 millimeter on the lug nuts to get the tires off. Then we got a 17 millimeter on the caliper bolts. That was on there tight. Tight. Too tight. Get this brake hose in the way up here. Just kind of go over it. Now it'll try spinning on you. The slide bolt. You can usually hold it with your fingers. You don't need to bust out a wrench. These ones are kind of stiff. I mean, the slide bolts are spinning pretty smoothly. Kind of stiff in the little bolts. So we'll take this other one off right here. Now, unless your caliper is jammed on there real tight, like it shouldn't be, you should be able to pry these ones off with a little screwdriver. We'll go from the bottom right here. We'll just give it a little pry. That's exactly what it's supposed to be like right there. There she goes. All right, we got an 18 millimeter and the caliper mounting bracket bolt. We're just gonna zip those off. This is an aluminum caliper. For how big it is, it's real lightweight. All right, that's on there way tight. Way tight. There she goes. There's one. Ooh. These haven't been touched in a long time. Trying to get it back off of my socket. There she goes. There's our mounting bracket. It looks like we don't have to hammer this rotor off. It's just coming right off for us, which is awesome. That doesn't always happen. Now I gotta get this caliper to turn back. These aluminum calipers like to get real stiff and seized up, I found. So we'll loosen the bleeder up 10 millimeter. These bleeders like to seize in there. This one's fine. A little bit of air in there. Definitely had some air in this one. There you can pick your weapon. We got huge channel locks over there, C-clamps, cheap caliper turn back tools. I'm using more of our professional one because I know these calipers like to be sticky. I don't want to strain myself. Shove this little tool in here and start tightening. I believe these are metal pistons, so you can actually use the C-clamp or huge pliers on them without cracking them or anything. Give this guy a nice brake bleeding after the brake job's done. Yeah, she's pretty stiff. Definitely pretty stiff. I'm struggling to hold on to the caliper. So I'm gonna put this mounting bracket back on loosely. Finger tight. I don't usually do this, but these are stiff. We're gonna get rid of this hardware. I always buy premium pads with new hardware. We're gonna clean really good in the ears where the hardware sits. So it only takes a quick second to do this. Reassemble everything without the rotor and pads in the way. Might want to slap some new calipers on this guy. These are stiff. With that bleeder valve released, should be pretty easy to turn, but it's not. The piston's compressing now, the fluid's coming out, and sometimes it presses the other piston outwards while you're pressing one in, so you might want a secondary tool to stop that. Little clamp, cheap turn back tool. These pistons seem stiff enough that they're not moving. All right, it just got really tough, so the piston should be all the way in now. I'm gonna loosen my tool. See if I can get it to go over the other piston without taking the caliper off. There's one piston all the way in. Just like I said, these calipers like to get stiff. I can't fit it through there. We're gonna have to loosen the caliper back up. I'll just take one bolt out, swivel it, and start it on the other piston. Come on, buddy. Straighten up for me. Try to get it straight on the piston. Start compressing this. You can see all the fluid pouring out. That's because we're pressing the piston in, and the fluid has to go somewhere. Usually you don't have to do that, but we did this time. Come on, buddy. Hand's getting a little weak. Oh, and we got some nasty fluid coming out now. The stuff that initially came out looked nice and clean. This stuff looks nasty that's coming out now. All right, we got that caliper pressed back. That fluid was looking pretty nasty, so we're gonna do a nice bleeding on this. So I've got my rotor put on, sprayed down with some brake cleaner. I got one lug nut put on loosely with my hands just to keep it straight. It's just so much easier. Our caliper mounting bracket is all cleaned up. Put some high temp silicone based brake grease in these slides. Cleaned them up, put that in. Cleaned up where the pads sit on the where the hardware sits on the bracket real good. Now we can tighten this bad boy on here. Let's flip this guy over here. Grab my air. Tighten these up, nice and tight. Now we got our pads. All the pads are universal. Look the same, inside, outside, left, right. They just slide right in there if you got it nice and clean. Bada boom. Grab one thing here. A little rusty on the tip of those calipers and the ears. Should be able to slide the caliper over here. Then you got to press these little guys in so that the ear of the caliper fits over it. We got our 17mm bolts. Start them in by hand, and the slides might spin on you as you're tightening. If they spin, grab yourself a wrench to hold them still. Nice and tight. There we go. Now, we just got to worry about bleeding the brakes. Our bleeder is all the way up here. We can't really fit a ratchet in there too easily, so probably use a wrench. They're already loosened, so it'll be easy. Don't forget to take my lug nut back off. Oh, we'll bleed the brakes, throw the tire back on, and we'll be good to go. If you're not bleeding the brakes, you should be, but if you're not, make sure you prime that brake pedal. After you get everything together, squeeze those pads tight into the rotor before you start driving, before you put it into gear. Pump the brake pedal, get the brakes tight. And that'll do it.